Hi, hopefully you watched the introduction just to get a sense of what we're doing. Our Novice First Class has some stuff in it that you may already know. I hope so. I'm going to make my puppy work. He's crying. Sterling, come. This is Sterling, and he is almost 4 months old. Tomorrow he'll be 4 months old. He's a giant schnauzer, so he's pretty large. He's offering a sit, so I'm just going to reward him for focusing on me, which is really great. If you came with sit, most people do, fantastic. Could you perhaps add a hand signal for that? Mine is this. Just be sure your hand signals are clear and succinct and different from each other. A lot of people will use this for sit and this for down, which is not different enough, Sterling would say. But this for sit and this for down is a little clearer. He's got it down, you might notice. I'm going to push back a little so you can see better. So if I want to get a sit, I'm showing him the food, and when his butt hits the ground, that's when the food goes in. And I would say, yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not saying the word sit unless they know the word sit. Sit, good boy, which he does. And so you see the food is the hand signal. See, that's the food anyway. I'm doing that. So you might as well make the hand signal match the food. It's hard to make him sit because he's always in sit. So the food is right next to his nose. If he didn't have a sit, I would be pushing it up this way till he sat. I could even use this wall to go against to make him sit or stand. I could push him all the way back until he has to sit because he's up against the wall. And the hand signal becomes this. Dogs tend to see before they hear, so it's a really good idea to have a hand signal. I now have a 15-year-old Chihuahua, 15 and a half, and he doesn't really hear. So we're really glad that we've got some hand signals to work with. If you have a sit and it's really clear and the dog knows what it means, you might try it down. Good boy. So the opposite is the hand signal. Someday you can get push-ups, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the food is from his nose to the ground, and then I go out, and they will go into a down. Some dogs, it's the last thing they learn for some reason. It takes a while sometimes to get a down out of them. So the food is here. He's licking it, licking it. He doesn't get the food down until he's in the position, and then I give him the food. Good job, baby. We've been working on push-ups, so he gets back to a sit. So food is here. I'm pushing it in a little bit. Sometimes you have to push the dog back a little bit, and then they'll end up in a down. If you have a little dog, you could work on the sofa and push them up against the back of the sofa. I have another video that really takes its time with down because some people really struggle with it. Some dogs, especially if they have a curly-tailed butt, don't want to go into a down as readily as a bigger dog sometimes, or a dog with no tail. One more time. He sits from his nose to the ground and then out. If I go on a diagonal, he'll get up. If I go too quickly or away from his nose, he'll get up. So I'm just keeping the food there to show him what I want. You can use any word you want. Some people will say lie. It's whatever, banana is fine, as long as you know what it means. The only word that I think we all have to be consistent on is using the word come. Because if he's out, his leash breaks, somebody has to catch him. I want him to know what come means because it's the only thing the human's going to know. They're not going to know his name. They're not going to know he knows front instead of come. They only are going to guess at come and hope that he does. So just for safety reasons. So he has a bed here. It's useful if you want to send your dog while you have dinner to go to a certain place, chew a bone while you're having dinner perhaps. When somebody comes in and out the front door, you can send them to their place. It's really useful to just have a place that he knows he has to go to and then ultimately he stays at. But for now, we'll just take whatever we can get. So if you send them to their bed or mat or place. All 4 feet just have to be on the mat. That's the only thing I'm looking for. A down is a bonus. He knows this, sort of. He doesn't stay in it yet at his age, but he knows what place means. Good place. Good job. I'm going to even reward that when he's in it. Good boy. and then I'm going to release him. Okay, good job. Again, all 4 paws is all you have to do. I'm going to encourage you to wait for them to actually offer the behavior. Place. I'm not going to repeat it because he should know what it means or have a clue, or at least he's figuring it out. From my mouth to his head to his body sometimes takes a little bit of time. So we're going to let him process. Maybe I need to repeat it once more, but I'm trying not to repeat myself 13 times. Otherwise, he's just going to be one of those dogs who listens when he feels like it. Place. Sterling. Place. If your dog doesn't get a clue what this means, you can toss treats onto the mat. Good boy. The down is just an extra. Again, as long as all 4 feet are there, I'm going to call this place. That's great. I'm raising the bar a little bit for him because he knows what it means most of the time. That at least I can get it down now, and that's more important. Okay, let's get up. We're going to do it one more time. Place. What I'm good. My bar for him when I'm raising now is that I can go farther away and ask for it. I want to be way on the other side of the room and have him go to this place. We're not there yet. So work at your dog's level, whatever works. Let's talk about leaving things alone. We'll talk about drop it in another lesson, but leave it as preventive. Before he picks up the Lego, before he goes after the raven, before he starts barking at another dog, leave it, ignore it. So I'm going to put food on the ground, and he's supposed to ignore it. When he stops nuzzling my hand, I haven't done this in a while, then he gets rewarded for it. There's food underneath my hand. I'm just waiting him out. Sooner or later, he's going to do it, and then I'm going to say what the words are. Leave it. Yes. Look at him put his paw on my paw. So cute. Leave it. I'm only covering it to prevent him from getting it. If he gets it, the game is over. Leave it, and you've lost. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. So the key is to reward him for doing that. Otherwise, it's mean. Leave it. He's still getting rewarded. Why care about the crap that's on the sidewalk when you've got really good stuff here? Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. He's really good at it once we remind him what it means. At the end, I'm picking it up, putting it away. All done. Because I don't want him to get it ever. Everybody likes to put treats on their paws and then say leave it and then release them to get it. I don't want him to get it. I don't want him to ever go near whatever I say that he should ignore. He's not going after the raven. He's not going to pick up the pizza or the chicken bones. Sometimes there are chicken bones on the sidewalk. God knows why. I don't want him to do it ever. So that's leave it. That's the first stage of it. If you get good at it, you can take treats, put them on the floor in your house first, on leash, walk him by the treats and see if he can leave it. And reward him up here. Let's see if he can do it. I don't think he can yet. Leave it. Ah. Sterling, sit. Leave it. Leave it. Nope. Leave it. So I could, on leash, walk him by it. Ah. There's a fail. I walk him by on leash and then have him lead it. But still, you've got to reward him up here when you're doing it. Not just have him ignore it and get no paycheck. You get a paycheck, he gets a paycheck. The last thing I'm going to talk about is recall. Your dog should come when they're called. It's the most important thing, so we start with it in our first lesson. So since come is so important, we spend quite a bit of time on it. Work at your dog's pace and don't rush it. Everybody wants their dog to come from 30 yards away off leash. If they're not coming in your kitchen or in your own home or your hallway of your apartment building, they're not going to come when there's a squirrel outside. So we go slowly. We never call them for anything bad. We call them only for good things. When he comes, I treat him every time for a while. There was a trainer recently who said, why not treat them every time they come? It's so important that maybe it's okay if we treat them every time they come. I don't know if I need to go that far, but my dogs, if they see a squirrel and I call them, they're coming. And that's what we really, really, really need. Everything else is gravy, but come has to happen. Sterling's in love with my cat. He's spending time looking at the cat. So I'm going to treat him nice and close. If you have a little dog, you've got to treat him way down here. They come to the food. Don't bring the food to the dog. I'm going to say the word once, come. If he doesn't come, I'm going to try a kissing noise. I'm going to try being more exciting. I'm going to get woohoo crazy if I need to. I'm going to try not to say it a second time. At first, they may not know what it means, of course, but most puppies come with it pre-installed. They'll come and they want to be with you all the time, and then we mess it up. Don't call them for something bad. So that means, come, put you in the bathtub. No. Come, we're going to the vet. Come inside from the yard. And that's a negative because all the play stops. Someday you can call them from the yard when they're really, really solid. But if you call them and put them in the bathtub, you're going to have an issue. And they're going to forget all that good work you just did. And you can't blame them at all for doing that. So he's going to come. If you live by yourself, we've got a min-pin Tanner who's going to come too. You can just wait for him to be distracted and call him. If you have two people, you can have another person 6 feet away and then you call them back and forth and both of you treat him. Come. I can't go very far right now because I want you to be able to see him. Good, Tanner, come. Tanner's got to come closer, but he's a little worried still about this new big puppy. Come, so he doesn't want to go that close. Good job, guys. If I were on my way to the kitchen, I'd say it anyway. Come. Good job. Then if we're really, really good, we start to do it in harder circumstances. You can try hiding behind the wall a little bit and calling him. You can try it in your yard. But I would say for a solid week, you just try it in your house so he really knows. As soon as his head pivots toward me, that's when the praise starts. Come! And he starts, yay! Look at how much more fun that is. Good boy. Come! So somebody's going to say they're coming for the food. Yes, they are. They're coming for the food for now. And I'm praising them every time they come so that they come without the food too. Yeah, good job. Nice. Good job. I get 2 for 1 today. Come. Good job. Kissy noises get you far. Good job. Try to capture behaviors too. If you happen to see your dog come, you happen to be in the other room and he starts coming, say it. If he lies down, say down because you're capturing it. He's doing it anyway. Hi, baby. Sit down. Good job. Tanner, down. Good job. Try to do it where you will succeed, though. If you set them up to fail, that's what you're going to get. I don't want them to fail. I want to call them because I think they're going to do it. If you don't think they're going to do it, go get them. Otherwise, they're going to go, say, talk to the paw. If I said come now and he didn't, I would go right up to him and get him to come with me. Yeah? That's very good. Don't overwhelm them. This is a lot for a 14-week, what are we at? 16-week-old puppy. To do, 5 minutes of training is perfectly fine. Try 3 or 4 trials of something. You get 4 downs. Finally get 4 good ones. I would stop. Quit while you're ahead. Quit on the behavior that you want, not the behavior you didn't want. Because they remember, we do too, the last thing that they did is the thing that sticks with us. Good boy. Good place. He's offering it. We'll take it. Good job. If you have questions on things or need problem solved, you can email me, robin@robinroy.com, ROBINROY, and we can discuss things by email. If we need more sessions privately, we can also work that out as well. But sometimes problem solving is the thing that everyone really needs, and it's hard to address specifically in one class. I hope we'll see you in the next class. Bye.